doubts related to Subhashitani, please raise your hand so that I can call out your names and I can take some of the questions. So please note, if you type anything in the chat box, I'll not be able to make or note down them. So kindly, whenever I call out your names, please unmute. Okay, so I'll call in the same order. So please keep your questions specific to the point, and let us try to answer most of the questions, and we'll cover the remaining chapters as well. Okay, so Srinivasan Mahodaya. Next is in the line is Jayaraman Mahodaya. Okay.
No, I'm extremely sorry. I was wanting to ask a question on the Ara, but
okay. I shall come to that chapter again. So please wait. So now I'll be covering the questions on Subhashitani. Yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay. Jayaraman Mahodaya.
Ram Ram Mahodaya. That's not relating to the Subhashitani. I have a doubt in Yan Sandhi. Can you explain when the Sandhi?
Yeah, Sandhi is also one more chapter that is. Okay, I shall first tell the probably the order in which we will go through this Q&A session. First few minutes on this Subhashitani. After that, Indriyani, and then after that we will go to Sandhi, and then Nadi, then Arama. This is the order in which we will be doing. I think these are the 5 chapters which were covered from after the previous Q&A session. That's what I remember. So if after that we shall open up for any other questions in Prathama, like what if at all we have any of the questions. So I hope the next set of students, if you don't have questions related to Subhashitani, please lower your hands. Okay, Shanta Bhagini.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
And the 5th Subhashidam.
Yeah.
Videsheshu dhanam vidya. Last one, Paraloge dhanam dharma. Sheelam sarvatra vaithanam.
Right.
Why? What is the meaning there? Why?
Okay, so generally why and like to or etc. don't have any specific meaning actually, but it is used to fit in for the chandas correctly for some time. In some cases, sarvatra sheelam sarvatra vaidhanam. Sheelam, so it sometimes enhances or emphasizes that sheelam is the only kind of you can think that it is kind of indicating that it is only something like that. Okay, so sarvatra sheelam vaidhanam. Sheelam is the dhanam, like the emphasis that you give. That is what you do with vai.
Okay.
There's no separate meaning. Yeah, sure. Dhanyawada. Okay, next Jayashree Bhagini.
See, my question also was the same thing, because when you do the Padacheda and Padapadartha, I had a problem in this by. So it was answered by the. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Dhanyawada. Very good. So yeah, in general, even if you search for these words in the dictionaries, etc., you may not find them as well. So some of them could be there, but not every such word, every such literal that is used to compensate for the chandas will not be there. It is also context based. Based on the context, we will have to use that as an emphasizer, or it is enhancing the meaning with something more, etc. So okay, next is Ramji.
In the 7th sloka,
okay,
this Lalaye.
That's right.
So the first 5 years we have to be
affectionate towards them. Yes.
And the next 15, what is
next 10 years?
Next 10 years, and then after that?
After that, it is prapte to shodashe varshe. That means to say once they become 16. Okay, so first 5 years we need to be affectionate towards our kids. The next 10 years, that completes 15 years basically. Okay. Then once they step into 16th year, then
you have to be like a friend.
You'll have to treat them like a friend.
Yeah, and then the last one also I have the meaning. I am not able.
Sure. Vrittam sarvat, that one, right? Yes. Yes. What is the question here?
Yeah, I'm not clear about the meaning.
Okay. Vrittam means good conduct. Okay. Or basically, we need to protect our conduct by all means. Okay. Or our character in the other sense, if you see that. Vittam ayati yati cha. So, but money can come and go. The wealth comes and goes. Nakshinaha vittataha kshinaha. If a person is depleted of wealth, then he is not really destroyed, or if he is not really weakened.
Destroyed.
Yeah, but vrittatastu hato hataha. But by if the conduct is destroyed, then he's destroyed completely. Yes, that is the meaning of this Subhashita.
Thank you. And then the one before,
Yeah.
Murghe Murgha.
Yeah.
Uttamena ki siddhyanti.
Right.
So you have to always plan or what?
No. Udyamena. So see, this will have to see this sentence twice. One is karyani udyamena hi siddhyanti. Karyani manorathaihi na siddhyanti. Okay, these are two sentences of the first half of the shloka. That means to say the fruit of any the fruit can be obtained only by action. Udyamena hi siddhyanti. The karyani means the task. Okay, any
Udyamena nahi siddhyanti means what?
No. Udyamena is Tritiya Vibhakti, Ramena, similar to that.
Okay.
By work, by efforts only we can get the results, or we can get the actions should be done. The actions will not happen on its own if we have a thought in our mind. Manorathaihi. Manorathaihi is again Tritiya Vibhakti.
So karyani na manorathe. Karyan will not be done without by just thinking. Right?
That's right.
Right. Thank you.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha. Good questions. I think most of the students would also have similar questions, because here also Udyamena is there. This Nakara and this Nakara are totally different. Udyamena is Tritiya Vibhakti, Ramena, by work, basically, by action, is what the work will be successful. Not by just thinking, not by Manorathaihi. So we'll have to split this into two parts. Udyamena, Karyani, Udyamena hi siddhyanti, Karyani manorathaihi na siddhyanti. So that will clear that part, that doubt that if you have. Okay. So very good. If your doubts are clarified, please lower your hands. Okay. Next is Ghanshyam Mohdaya.
Ram Mohdaya.
Ram.
Sir, in the last Subhashita, na shino vittata shino vrittatastu. What is the meaning of tastu?
That's what. Vrittataha tu. Tu is just one more letter added for the chandas. That's it. So tu is, you can use it as an emphasis, but vrittatastu hato hataha. But with respect to content, if it is destroyed, he is destroyed. He is destroyed. So that stress, whatever you can think, that emphasis can be used with respect to tu. There is no separate meaning for it.
Okay. Dhanyawad, sir. Dhanyawad.
Sure,
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So please be on mute once your chance is over. Okay. I think let me see who else is the next student. I think Jai Shri Bhagini is over. Aditi. So I request, please, if your chance is over, please lower your hand so that I can identify and call out the students correctly. Aditi, next is Mohana.
Ram, sir.
Ram.
In Subhashitani, I did not understand the 4th Subhashita and the 9th Subhashita.
Okay, so let me go to the 9th one because it's here only.
Okay.
So the 9th one, it says there are 3 class of people. One is Adhamaha, lower, or then the mediocre, which is Madhyamaha, and the great, the Uttamaha. So there are 2 parameters. One is Dhanam and one more is Manam. One is wealth and one more is respect. So what 2 different class of people like? Okay, Adhamaha, who are low level people, they want money. They are not worried about how that money is obtained, whether they will be respected in the society or not, etc. They are not caring about it. So Adhamaha Dhanam Ichchati, they just want money. Okay, Dhanamana Madhyamaha, but the middle, I will not use the word class or anything, but yeah, the second category of people whom we call Madhyamaha, they want money and also respect. Okay, so they sometimes compromise on either of them, and then they want both of these. Next, Uttamaha, they don't care money at all. They want the respect, what they always live for. Okay, that means to say they value principles, they value values. So these are the I mean, I'm just trying to tell it in a different way. So hope this is clear. So So for the great people, mana or the respect is the greatest wealth. That's it. That is the meaning. Okay, let us go to the fourth one. I think it also should be similar or simpler only. So Narasya Bharam Rupam. Okay, so here it's a chain of what is the ornament or what shines more with respect to the other thing. Okay, for a person, for any person, Narasya Abharanam Rupam. The Rupa is basically how that person is. Okay, the beauty will be the ornament for a person. But for that, but compared to that, for the Rupa, for the beauty, if there is no Guna, then it is of no use. So Guna is basically the quality. Good qualities will become an ornament for that particular beauty. Next, just if you have good qualities, that is not even sufficient. You should also have good knowledge. So knowledge is the real ornament for that good quality. But if you just have knowledge, that is again still not sufficient. Along with knowledge, you should also have humility and you should also have compassion, etc. So jnanasya abharanam kshama. So it is just a chain saying that if you just have rupa or beauty, then it is not sufficient. If you just have good qualities, that is not sufficient. If you just have jnana, that is not sufficient. If you just have, but the cycle completes when all these can fit in. So that is what it is. The meaning of this Subhashita.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Dhanyavadaha.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha. Okay, next Mohana. Next is V. Gopalakrishnan. Next Raja Raman Mahodaya.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram.
I have two quick questions. I'm Shamyatam for asking these questions on Subhashitam. The first question is, how is there a way or is there some kind of a tip to memorize them? I understand meanings when I read and everything, but I'm not able to memorize. Is it because of the lack of vocabulary?
No.
Or...
Memorization. Okay. Yeah. First, I'll take that question and I'll answer it. Memorization is again a technique. Okay. So for that matter, there are so many people who have memorized the entire shlokas of Bhagavatam. Maybe if it is 1 lakh shlokas, like 18,000 shlokas, they have memorized. Some people have memorized all shlokas of Ramayana. I'm just giving an example. There are a few people who have literally memorized. Okay. But memorization is a technique when you come to it. So with constant practice, okay, you will have to practice with see, for example, if I read this as a sentence, Narasya Bharanam Rupam, Rupasya Bharanam Gunaha, Gunasya Bharanam Jnanam, Jnanasya Bharanam Kshama. If I practice in this way, memorization will become very difficult. But if I add a tune to it, Narasya Bharanam Rupam, Rupasya Bharanam Gunaha, etc., then this tune will automatically make us know the chain or the next set of words. So that is a technique that we will have to follow. That's why if you see even the shlokas or Subhashana, etc., there is a predefined tune or something which will help us remember it well. So practice is the only answer for it. So yeah, the second question.
Mahoday. The thing is, all these Subhashitams have so much value and so much application in daily life. But my one question to you, how can the pati be an abharanam to the wife? How can, when jnana and guna and everything is important, a pati is not an abharanam in these times and world? I cannot understand that. How can, it's not necessary to have a husband.
So it's a complex topic to discuss, and it is definitely not scope of.
It bothers me, Mahoday. It really
no, I understand.
bothers.
I understand. Okay, so in the modern times, how what does it matter? Okay, so yeah, I don't have anything to comment on it. At least.
Yes, we should eliminate it completely.
So okay, but there are.
Thank you, Dhanyavadaha Mahoday, for taking time.
Yeah, Dhanyavadaha. So there are some things, even if you see in Manusmriti, etc., there are a lot of relevance for those statements as well. I would say that, and it is also a cultural aspect. It is not that there's no like they say that okay, this is a men-centric society, etc. I mean, there's nothing like all these aspects. Okay, But anyway, I'll not comment further anything related. It's a Subhashitam that is given, and it is part of some of the granthas, and we need to accept it the way it is right now. Okay, so we should go to the next person. Gopal Krishna Mahodaya. Next, Rajaraman Mahodaya.
Ram Mahodaya.
Next, Ram
Mahodaya. This is just regarding for the examination, we have to do the Padapadartham as well as the Bhavartham for the Subhashitam, or only to write the Subhashitam, memorize and write the Subhashitam.
Both are there. So they will ask a question with explain with Anvayanusaram Bhavartham Vikhraya. So they will ask the question. Okay, I think there's echo from your side. I'm just muting you. I'll answer this question and then again ask if there is any further question. So you will have to memorize this and also know the Padacheda and Anvaya, that is the prose order, and then the meaning of this Subhashitam. This will be asked in the exam. Okay. So any other question, Gopal Krishna Mahodaya? Okay. So any other question? Okay, Rajaraman Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
Namaste. This is regarding that prarthana, na, that Vyoma's prarthana is there.
Right,
Pahi Mam, Pahi Guru, Pahi Guru. Pahi is what so many places for prayer and all, Pahi comes.
Okay. Pahi means protect. Okay. Pahi is it is in Lot Lakara, Madhyama Purusha. Okay. Pahi means you protect me. Hey Rama, Mam Pahi. Anywhere, Pahi, wherever you see. Patu naha, you would have also heard. Pa is for palane, so to protect basically. So that is the dhatu.
Okay. Dhatu is dhatu. What is the dhatu, sir?
Pa. Yeah.
Yes.
Pati. So basically, yeah. Palane. I think that is the dhatu. So pati, patu. All these are from that dhatu. Okay.
Dhanyawad.
Next is Haresh Deshpande. Next, Pragya Mishra. So please, if your questions are answered with respect to, from another student, please you can also lower your hands. So we'll take another 3-4 minutes on Subhashitani and then we'll proceed further. Okay. Harish Deshpande, you can ask your question.
Namo Namah Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Actually, just in continuation to the previous question, if you can explain the meaning of prarthana.
Okay. So sure. Yeah, I shall do it towards the end of the class. First, I shall cover the answer, questions related to the lessons, and I shall answer that. Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Pranaya Mishra.
Namo Namah Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Can you listen me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Ekadasha Subhasita Mahodaya. Right. Yeah, 11th number.
Right.
Just have a small question here that Brittam 2. Here, what does that 2 stands for?
That's all. As I mentioned, in any Subhashitam, 2 or Y or anything, here there are 2 places. Vritta Tastu.
Yeah, exactly.
Etc.
Yeah.
So this is used to fit in for the Chandas.
Okay,
Chandas,
got it.
Yeah. There is no specific meaning for these words. Based on the context, it will act as an emphasizer, or like it just enhances the meaning of the sentence. Vrittam tu sarvatha rakshit. Vrittam sarvatha rakshit means Vrittam has to be protected. Now, tu will just add a stress. Vrittam, this has to be protected. That is the just emphasis that you can give with this word.
So like in the previous one, Vaidhanam, Vai, the, right? For that sense, the, like
yes,
that.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So even here also, he is also does not have any meaning.
Okay.
By only actions, work will be successful.
So Mahodaya, I have a question that, is there any word for these type of varnas or these type of words? Is there collectively anything called in Sanskrit?
I'm not sure of it. I need to check on that. If it is classified as any set of group of words, I need to check that. I don't have an answer now.
Dhanyawad.
Sure. Okay. Next, Harin Mehta. I think there are 2 more people. We'll see that.
Hi, Mahodaya. Can you go to 11th Subhashitani again?
Yeah.
So here the question is, Vittataha, is that the root was what Namapadani?
So okay, so this is an avyaya. Vittataha, if you ask that this word is an avyaya. So what it actually means is taha. Wherever taha comes, basically this stands for kind of panchami vibhakti. Gramataha. So gramat is panchami vibhakti. That is a namapadam. Gramataha. Whenever you say gramataha, that becomes an avyaya. Similarly,
okay, so it is like then.
Yeah. So wherever this taha comes, actually, I mean, with respect to that from, if you are destroyed with respect to or something like that, so there this becomes an avyaya. It stands for panchami vibhakti.
Got it. Okay, so basically root word is still vittam, right? Or vitta?
Yes, that is right. Vittam ayati. Yeah, vittam is the root word. Akarantaha.
Okay, so the vittam is a dvitiya vibhakti ekvachana.
No. Here it is. Here vittam is prathama vibhakti.
Prathama vibhakti.
Ayat,
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Dhanyawadaha. Okay. So you had one more question. Sorry, I muted you. Harin Mehta, you can ask if you had another question.
No. That's all. Thank you.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Julia Bhagini.
Namaste, Mahodaye. My question is about Amvaya. I think I missed this class.
Which one? Sorry, I didn't get it.
The question is about Amvaya, the construction of the sentences of the Subhashita. And then Amvaya. And then I want to know is some exercise was there because I don't have practice in this, and then how is because syntax in Sanskrit is always no problem the order of the words, and then how to know what is the Amvaya of the Subhashita.
Okay. So I understood your question. I shall answer it. So Anvaya is basically it is basically a close order where we arrange the words in a particular shloka or a subhashitam such that the doer, the kartrapadam or something like that will come in the beginning, and the kriyapadam goes to the end, will be written in the end. So of course there is no change in the meaning that will be there because of rearranging the words. That is the beauty of Sanskritam. Even if I say dhanamano to madhyamaha or madhyamaha to dhanamano, it doesn't change the meaning. But while this prose order, this Anvaya, I shall open the other slide so that probably will explain it better. Just give me a second. I shall open the other slide. So okay. I'm just looking for that slide where that is there. I shall flash it in a second. Okay. So let me see that. Okay. So here, if you see, so Padacheda, Anvaya, this is the order which I gave. Okay. So Anvaya is basically, it's just like Sukhasya Anantaram Dukkham, Dukkhasya Anantaram Sukham, etc. is there. So Sukhasya Anantaram Dukkham Bhavati. So you will just construct it into a sentence with a Kriyapadam. If a Kriyapadam is being missed, you will assume some Kriyapadam, Asti, etc. like that, and you will put it in that order. So this is called Anvaya. So you can refer to the notes. Yeah, at this stage, it will be difficult for you to come up with Anvaya on your own. So please refer to the notes that has been put up in the Subhashitani chapter, and please refer to it. Okay. So that should probably help you out with that Anvaya. I hope that is answered. So I shall take probably one more question, and then we'll proceed to the next chapter. Okay. So I think most of the questions, I think by now it should have already been answered. So let us see. Satyajit Hota Mahodaya. Satyajit Mahodaya, you can ask a question.
Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha. The 11th number shloka, where we are using hato hataha.
Right.
So actually grammatically what it is exactly, just like badho badha.
That's right. So this is hataha hataha. Okay, these are the two words. Because of visarga sandhi, okay, this hataha has changed to hato. That's the only thing. Hataha, hataha. Vrittatastu hataha, hataha. So here you are applying two places. One is for vritta. Vritta is killed. The person is also killed. So vrittatastu hataha, one person who is killed by the with respect to the conduct is by default he is killed himself. Basically he is himself dead or something like that.
Okay. And another thing is, sir, about no. No means no, or ma.
Right.
Ma
Right.
means also no.
Yeah, ma is also ma stands for both. One is mam ma. That is asmat shabda. So for me or something like that. That is also one ma. Another ma is don't want or something like that. Mastu means don't want. Nasti means not there. So mastu means don't want. So you can use it as a negative basically.
Okay. And the third one, sir, about the sloka, Shuputraha Kuladipakaha.
Right.
So what ma'am has also told about this thing, moderation as per the requirement of the time, because girl's child also, I think Shuputra means here both son and daughter or only son?
Here, okay, in general, wherever, okay, this is another thing which is there. Wherever in Sanskritam, wherever if you see as a general like Manushyaha or Naraha or anything like that, like though it is referring to a Pullinga object actually, but it is referring to the child only or offspring. So it is not just only son. Okay. So
okay,
that.
Dhanyavadaha.
Okay. So at this point, I shall probably stop taking questions related to Subhashitani. I hope most of the questions should be answered by now. So if there is some questions still pending with respect to Subhashitani, I request all of you please do send an email so that I can answer and I can provide answer through email. So this probably covers that. Okay, now we shall go to the next chapter. So now I'll be taking questions related to I will take two chapters. One is related to the Indriyani and then Sandhihi. So these two chapters we shall do it together. So please raise your hands if you have any questions related to these. I shall show the slides as well. So okay. Okay, so I think few students have raised their hands, so I shall I'll share my screen. We'll see. Okay, Namrata, please keep the questions to the point so that we can directly focus on more questions and then it will be helpful for all. Okay.
Mahodaya, netram shrotram tatha ghranam.
That's right. Okay.
Tvak jivendriyam uchyate. Atra sandhi asti kalu Mahodaya. Jihva indriya uchyate.
That's right.
Uchyate padasya artham kim Mahodaya?
Okay, I shall quickly show that slide and then we'll see. Okay, so now in this, if you see, right, there are two places where it is coming. Tvak jihvendriyam uchyate. Here, jihva indriyam and uchyate. Ukara is there here. Uchyate means are being told or being said. Here in the second word, sa muchyate. Muchyate means will be free. Okay, mochanam, etc. Like moksha, you would have heard the word, right? So that is muchyate. Here in the first part, it is uchyate, ukara. That is, these are called as indriyam. Netram, shrotram, tatha ghranam, tvak jihva, indriyam uchyate. These are called indriyas or sense organs. That's it.
In Sandhi, in the textbook under Guna Sandhi also they have given Purva Padasya Antima Varna A, Uttara Padasya Purva Varna R,
right.
Adesha Varna Ar.
Right.
Into Vriddhi Sandhihi Atra Purva Padasya Antima Varna A, Uttara Padasya Purna Varna R, आदेशवर्णः आर् इति अस्ति महोदय.
I'll explain it. So there is a confusion related to this. I think I also received a few emails related to this topic. I answered one or two, I remember. So one is Guna Sandhi, wherever Guna Sandhi occurs. So it is not just wherever Sandhi occurs, okay? It is also, sometimes we say Guna Adesha will be there, or there will be some places we say Vriddhi will happen based on certain grammar rules. In such cases, by default, when they say Guna should occur here, then if it is Rikara, then it will change to Arkara. Okay, this is another aspect, not directly related to Sandhi. Okay, so similarly, in some place, they say Vriddhi should occur here. So in such places, if it is Rikara is there, then that rule will be changed to R. I'll give an example also to it. In most of the cases, in the Sandhis that we will see, it's a very rare case where we see this Vriddhi R basically. Okay, the Dirgha, the Vriddhi that we are seeing, the next slide, right? So that is very rare. Okay, it is very specific to one or two dhatus or somewhere it comes. It is a very rare case that comes where R is there. So I'll give an example now. So now Rishi is there, Rishi, sage is there. So something related to Rishi, if we say, then it is basically there is some grammar rule that occurs. Then it says that here the word should be Vriddhid. Okay, Vriddhi, you can think it as a process. Now that Rikara will change to R, then what will happen? The final word will be Arsha. Rishi, something related to Rishi will become Arsha. There Vriddhi has happened and Rikara has changed to Arkara. Okay, so that is an example that you can think. Okay. So I think yeah, that should answer your question.
Dhanyawada.
Sure. So, but with respect to Sandhi, don't worry. Maharshihi, etc. If you remember, that should be sufficient. Wherever we have seen Saptarshayaha, etc., Guna Sandhi is more prominent with respect to Rikara. Vriddhi, the case of Sandhi is limited. Okay. Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Next. I'll ask in the same order. Maybe I will try to see if someone has not got a chance in the previous round. I should take their questions, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, Harish Mahodaya. So please, I request everyone to be ready with the question and let it be very precise. Directly the question. Don't explain why that question is. If I need more details, I shall ask why you are asking this question. Okay.
Yeah. Mahodaya, take question.
Can you please speak near the mic?
So, you are able to hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear, but it is a bit feeble. Yeah, you can go ahead.
We saw Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam.
Right.
We said this is Shashti Bahuvachan.
Correct.
The meaning is among the Indriyas Nayanam Pradhanam, isn't it? So
that is right.
Would Saptami Bahuvachan also fit here?
Correct. Shashti and Saptami, both these can be used to say among these, whenever you are from a collective set, or you're trying to tell one of them stand out or something like that. You can use both.
So Sarvendriyaneshu.
Sarvendriyeshu Nayanam Pradhanam is also right. Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam is also right.
Okay. Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawadaha. Next, Kalyan Mahodaya. Next, Jayaraman.
Namo Namaha, sir.
Namaste.
In the British Sandhi, one question you have answered already.
Right.
A plus Ri is equal to R.
Right.
This you have explained, but in the Guna Sandhi, in the book, A plus Li is equal to Al is not given.
Correct. It is not given in the textbook. That is right.
Yes.
This last combination is not given. But for the completion of
it's a printing mistake, or
no, it is probably because there is no such many uses with respect to that, or there are very rare examples of this combination. They have not given, but for the completion of bonus, I included it.
And next question is, this is from one of the Vyoma apps on Android,
right?
Regarding Shavarna Dirgha Sandhi, they have given one more row which says Ri, Harsh and Dirgha,
Right.
And li also, li.
Right.
This equals ri.
Yeah, I know.
Even if li is there, it equals li, ri. And the example is hotre plus a likar is equal to hotlikar. Yeah.
So, okay, I'll quickly tell that. So, don't worry. So, basically, in Vyakarana, there's another rule which says Rikara and Likara, both these letters are similar. Okay, because of that, since we don't have a Dirgha Likara, it is given. So, it is beyond the scope of Prathama, so I shall not dwell more on that. But it is also correct, that is right, because Likara is treated as Rikara with respect to the similarity aspect. And hence,
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay, next, Jayaraman Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
See, same like Gunasandhi and Yensandhi, this R and that's the doubt I have in this. And any examples for this in Yensandhi?
For which one?
Becomes in Yensandhi.
No, in Yensandhi, Rikara will become Ra. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's only.
Yeah,
Any examples for that?
Yeah, we have seen this, right? In Yensandhi. 1 second, let me open that Yensandhi slide.
Because there is a confusion between Gunasandhi and
no, there will be no confusion. Matra plus Agnya, Matragnya, Tatra, Rakara is coming, right? That is the Yensandhi. Instead of Rikara, Rakara comes. That is Repha comes. That is Yensandhi. Okay, and similarly, you can think like Hotra Adeshaha or anything like that. Hotra Deshaha, Tra Deshaha, Pitra Deshaha, etc. These are the examples of Yensandhi where Rikara changes to Ra. Similarly, in Vriddhi or anything, the R will be there in the second word. That is the difference. In Yensandhi, R will be there as part of the ending letter of the first word. But in Gunasandhi, R will be the second word. Sapta Rishayaha, Sapta Rishayaha, Maha Rishihi, Maharshihi, etc. There R comes. Here, Rikara changes to Ra. That's the difference between these two. Hope it is clear now.
And there will be, if there are another doubt is there, if there is a Visarga, there will be no Sandhi in.
Correct. Visarga, if Visarga is there, it will be a Visarga Sandhi, not any of
that is separate. That's not in a separate.
Yes.
Dhanyawada Mahodaya.
Sure. Dhanyawada. Okay, next is Aditi. Aditi, next is Pranaya. So, Aditi, you can ask a question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, how to identify Vriddhi Sandhi and Yend Sandhi?
So, it's very clear. So, Vriddhi or any of the first three Sandhis that we have learned, Savarna, then Guna and Vriddhi, there is no change of the letter to ya, ra, va, la. Okay, that is the first difference that you can identify quickly. If it is Aikara or Aukara that is coming in the final word, in the Sandhi word, then that is Vriddhi Sandhi. Okay, in the final word you see Aishwaryam, Mamaishwaryam, Gangau, Kha, Aukara is there or Aikara, that is Vriddhi Sandhi. If Ekara or Okara is there or Arkara is there, then it is Guna Sandhi. Suryo, Ganesha, etc. Now, if Yen Sandhi is where you see Ityapi, Yakara is added, Vakara is added, Sadhveva, Pitra Desha, Ghasla Desha, etc. So these are Yen Sandhi examples. So by looking at the word, you will be able to understand. So please try seeing more words and try to split them, then you will be able to get it.
Okay, sir. One more. What is Nan plus Aham?
Nan, there's no Nan plus Aham, Nanu plus Aham. Okay, I think that is the one which is there. Nan Vaham, basically. Nanu plus Aham, Nan Vaham. That is again Yen Sandhi.
Yen Sandhi.
Yeah, Ukara is there and then Aham is there, Akara is there. U and A will combine to give V. Nan Vaham. That's how it will be.
Vaham. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Dhanyawada. Pranaya Mahodaya, you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. Mahodaya, this question I asked before also, and I'm bringing to your attention that there was in the Indriyani, there was.
I wanted to answer that question. Yes, that is right. So basically, I checked as well in some of the dictionaries as well. Shravanam is also can be used for one which also hears, basically. That is, ear also we can use Shravanam. I think you are asking about the same question.
Correct. You are so correct. Yeah. So Shravanabhyam Shabdam Akarnyam. So
That's
here
right.
I was taking that Shravan is Kriya Padam. So
That's
but
right.
Shravanam could be noun also?
Yes, it is also noun. Basically, Shravanam stands for two things. One is the Indriya, one is the organ through which you can hear the sound. And hearing the sound also is Shravanam. Shravanam,
Okay.
Mananam, Nididhyasanam, etc. You would have heard these words. Shravanam means hearing. Okay, and also it also can be used as the organ that hears also.
Okay. So yeah.
Shravanabhyam Shabdam Akarnayamaha is correct only. Probably the confusion is because when I said it should not be Shravanam, it should be Shrotram, I said in one of my languages.
Yeah.
Probably that created the confusion. Sorry about it. So
No. This way we clarify. Another one is there with the same. Previous colleagues of us, ours asked that Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam.
That's right. Right.
And you mentioned that among Indriyas, all Indriyas, eyes are the supreme or most important.
Right.
But in Vibhaktis, because this is a comparative, right? So,
no, there is again, what we have learned is one aspect of Vibhaktis only. The understanding of Vibhaktis itself is so much. There are so many other cases, like for example, if a particular Kriyapadam is used with a particular prefix, then the Vibhaktis will be changed, etc. There are so many other rules which are there. Okay, so for among or this is here we will use Shashti or Saptami. That is again
that understood. But no way we can say Sarvendriya Nata.
No, we cannot use Panchami Vibhakti here.
We cannot. Yeah. So because okay. And last one, sir, from Sandhi, I have a question that there was the Arjuna Uvacha.
Right.
So Visarga goes and Arjuna Vacha we say, but these two words do not join. It remains separate.
See, Sandhi means there's no rule that two words should be joined. Okay. Sandhi is between two letters. Okay. Sandhi is actually what is happening, any change with respect to a letter, one letter. So here, if you see again in this, right? So I'll go to that same slide. So Kvachit Varna Vyatyaha, wherever there is any change in the letter, it is called a Sandhi. Okay. So telling that way, I know. Telling that way here, this one. So Arjunaha Uvacha, the Visarga was there. Now the Visarga has gone. It is deleted. It is not seen in the final form. So that is a Sandhi. That's it.
So can't we write Arjunu Vacha?
No, it is not possible. So because once a Sandhi is affected, like Visarga Sandhi, Lopa has happened, it will not be able to do any other further Sandhi. So that is how the grammar rules are set. So it is so good if you see. Now if I say Arjuna Uvacha is the word, now I want to split the Sandhi. Now I will not know whether it should be Arjuna Uvacha or Arjunaha Uvacha. What was there earlier? So if any change has happened, it should be also reversible. So that is the intention. Even you can think why there cannot be one more Sandhi after this Visarga Lopa.
Dhanyavada Mahodaya.
Sure. Okay, next Ghanshyam Mahodaya. Next is Praveen.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Sir, in the sentence Taya Eva Vadama, which is the subject and object, because I normally find difficult sometimes to nominate the subject and object. Taya Eva Vadama, it is what is the subject and object in this sentence?
Where is that?
So in Indriyani, Asana Vivadana Rasana Asvadayama Taya Eva Vadamaha.
Okay.
Sentence.
I'll tell you that. That is quite straightforward. I will tell you because Vadamaha is the Kriyapadam, right?
Right, sir.
So Vadamaha means it is Uttama Purusha Bahuvachanam.
No, sir, I could understood the Kriyapada, but my problem is, sir, in this sentence, which is the subject and which is the object?
No, I'm coming to that only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So Vadamaha is a Kriyapadam. Now that means to say Vayam Vadamaha. So Vayam is the subject. Aham Avam Vayam. So Vayam is not there in the sentence, but that means to say we'll have to assume Vayam is the the Kartrapadam. Vayam Vadamaha. Vayam Taya Eva Vadamaha. Taya means Rasanaya Vadamaha, with the help of the tongue. So the what to say? The subject is vayam, vadamaha. There is no object here, basically.
Yeah. So it's not compulsory that there should be an object in all the sentence.
Okay.
The sentence can be without object also.
Yes, object can be without object. Well, sentence can be without object also. That is possible. So one more thing here, I will have to introduce one more concept. I think I had briefly spoken about it. It is called sakarmaka and akarmaka kriyapada. So some of the verbs are called transitive verbs and some are called intransitive verbs. So for example, dhavati, we'll consider dhavati. Ramaha dhavati. So you can say Rama is running or Ashvaha dhavati. Horse is running. But can you ask a question? What? So, for example, if you say Pathati, Ramaha Pathati, you can ask what is Rama reading? You can say Ramaha Pustakam Pathati. It can take an object in this sentence. Ramaha Pustakam Pathati will become Pustakam will be the object. But Ramaha Dhavati, if you say what is Rama running, you cannot ask a question basically. Or Hasati, Ramaha Hasati, Rama is smiling. So what is he smiling? You cannot ask a question. What? So these verbs which will not take any object is called intransitive verbs or akarmaka kriyapadani. So there in such sentences we will not have object at all. In the sakarmaka kriyapadani, like that, whereas like pathati, etc., those are sakarmakas which can take object. It is also possible that in some sentences object is missed. There's no harm in that. So that is just one concept I just wanted to tell.
So that means so all the atmanepadi kriyapada are akarma kriyapadas?
No. Not see, akarmaka or sakarmaka is irrespective of whether it is parasmayapadi or atmanepadi. It is based on the dhatu, like what it means, etc. So dhavati is parasmayapadi for that matter. Okay. Yeah.
Dhanyawada.
Dhanyawadaha. Next, Praveen Mohodaya.
Ram. Actually, this one or two doubts have already been cleared, but then one or two are remaining. This asvadayamaha and akarnayamaha. Now here, is this a dashamgana verb? Asvadayamaha, because that aya is there.
Yes, that is right. That is
correct. And then second doubt was this tvak jive indriya muchyate. Now this tvak adik jivha, that is it a vyanjan sandhi?
No. Tvak jihva indriya. Yeah, that is right. There actually tvak and jihva only is there, right? So it is given separately only. There is no you don't have to worry about a sandhi in that place actually.
Okay. And the jihva indriyam, that is the guna sandhi.
That is right. Jihva indriyam. Yes.
Okay. Hari Om, sir.
Dhanyawada. Okay. Next, Julia Bhagini.
Namaste. Is possible to listen? Oh, okay. I have 3 questions about sandhi.
Okay.
About Visarga sandhi. When Visarga is followed by vowels, always is Lopa sandhi.
So okay, Visarga Sandhi, sorry for this. So Visarga Sandhi is not part of the syllabus. Okay, for Prathama we are not learning Visarga Sandhi in detail. So if any specific questions related to Visarga Sandhi, I will not be able to answer in now. You can write an email to me. I can clarify your doubts. But since you have asked that, like okay, whenever there is a Visarga and followed by any verb, any vowel, then the Visarga Lopa will happen. Okay, that is if it is aha, like Arjunaha, Bhimaha, Krishnaha, etc. and then any vowel, then in such cases Visarga Lopa will happen. Just answer in brief for you that. Okay, what are the other 2 questions?
And when it's followed by Vyanjana, by consonant, sometimes it's dropping, sometimes it's not dropping.
Yeah, it's again, we haven't learned Visarga Sandhi, so I cannot answer more related to it now.
Okay. And then one simple question, I want to know when for example, the sentences phalam asti, I can write joining phalam asti, that will be sandhi or it's not sandhi?
No, it is not a sandhi. So sandhi is when there is a change in any letter. Phalam and asti, if you write, there is no change in the letters. Phalam, asti before, and if you write it together, whatever you do, the letters are the same. There is no change. Hence, it's not a sandhi. It is just a gunitaksharam. Makara plus akara is there. That's it. So phalam asti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, thank you so much.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha. So for more details related to Visarga Sandhi, if you have any questions, you can write an email. Okay. But since it's not part of Prathama, I will not be able to answer in the Q&A sessions because it will not be useful for other students. So that's the only reason. Okay. Shankaran Mohoday, you can ask a question. Next in the line is Sanat, and next Simran, then Raji and Murli Mohoday. So in the same order, we will close on that. I am sorry, I think we may have to extend a few more minutes to cover the last two chapters, which is Nadi and Aramaha. Hope it should be fine. So we shall extend a few minutes and then we shall cover those as well. Okay, Shankaran Mohoday, you can ask your question.
Ram Mohoday. You talked about in some cases the sandhi not being there. Is there a technique to sort of call it out? Sometimes, like the example just not talked about Phalamasti.
Right. No, that is just a gunitaksharam. It is not a sandhi. Sandhi means wherever there is a change between two letters, like because of the close association of two letters while pronunciation, there is a change. That is a sandhi. So phalam asti, there is no change at all because it is independent. Phalam asti, these two, even though you see little together, whatever you do, there is no change or any effect that is taking place. Hence, it is not a sandhi. There's no technical term to call anything for that.
So basically, you have to sort of dissect the letters and then see whether there's any change in the individual letters or not.
That's right. That's all right. Because even Arjuna Uvacha, if you say Arjuna Uvacha, Arjunaha Uvacha was there earlier. The Visarga has dropped. So that is the sandhi. There's a change. Similarly, if you see San Api, when you tell it together, it is not Sanapi, right? If you tell these two words correctly together, San Api, San Api, San Api, San Api, that Dvitva of Nakara occurs. So there is a change in the letter, and hence it is sandhi. But that is not the case with Ramam Api, Ramam Api, Ramam Api, Ramam Api. That's all it is. It will not become Ramam Api. It never becomes like that. We will have to tell it with if you want to tell that as Ramam Api only, it will come. Otherwise, it will not be Ramam Api. It can never happen that way. So that is why there is no sandhi in such cases.
Dhanyawada.
Sure. Next, Sanat.
Namo Namaha Mahodaya.
Namaste.
I have one doubt which I explained a lot, but I still wasn't able to.
Sure. Ask the question, then I'll say.
So actually, pustakam, at last we use m.
Right.
And in some cases we use anuswara.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Like, where to use what.
Okay, I shall quickly use that. I shall quickly try to answer it. This will be useful for others also. So please note. So we have two things. Okay, here this is again. So pustakam. Okay, I will use this pustakam. You assume that as pustakam. Okay, like I'll not write it fully. Pustakam. This will be the word if you are using it independently, or if it is a sentence ending, or the next following letter is any swara. Okay, if it is any swara, okay, pustakam, asti, etc. like that, then makara will be as it is, makara only, half halanta makara. But if it is not a swara, but if it is any vyanjana, okay, karo pustakam pathati or something like that, okay, pathati or something, some vyanjana is there, then this makara will be changed to a anuswara, a bindu. Pustakam pathati. That is it. Now, one more step that can take place, one more step that can happen is this anuswara will again change to the fifth letter of the Vargiya Vyanjana based on which letter it is. If it is like karoti, pustakam karoti, then this anuswara will change to ngakara, basically half ngakara. So these are different stages of sandhis. This happens only if you tell them together. Pustakam karoti, if you say that, there is no change. You will use that anuswara. Pustakam karoti, if you tell it together, then that pustakam karoti, that ngakara sound comes. So this is the three steps in which this occurs. Hope it is clear now. Okay. I hope it's clear, Sanat.
Yes, sir. Clear. Pustakam karoti. In that writing, we must put anuswara only.
That's right.
While speaking, we must use n.
No. Even while writing also, you can actually write that ngakara. There's no harm. But if you don't do the sandhi, then it is like pustakam karoti. It will be like this only. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Okay.
So while talking, we use na.
That's what it is. Just sound. Okay, sandhi is a sound basically. When you tell it together, pustakam karoti, it becomes like that. Pustakam, you can still give a pause and then say karoti. There's no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Dhanyawada.
Next, Simran Bhagini. Simran, Raji and Murli. So these 3 questions I should take and then we'll go to next.
Namaste Adhyapak Mahoday.
Namaste.
Sir, it is not in general about any Subhashitam or any topic, but while reading, I had this doubt in mind. Like Ram Sita Yaha, Ram and Sita's. Okay, will it be Ram Sita Yaha or Ram Sita Yoho?
If you want to say Sita Rama, so then it will become Sita Rama Yoho or Rama. So usually Sita Rama Yoho is the right way you will use it, because there are some rules also when you want to combine 2 words, basically Rama and Sita. If you want to combine these 2, then usually Sita will be used in the beginning and then Rama will be the second. So Sita Rama Yoho, Lakshmi Narayana Yoho, etc. like that.
Okay. So we have to use the Dvivachan
that is right. That is right.
When there are two words, and if there are 3, we'll use a Bahuvachan form, 3 or more.
So Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughnaha, for example.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughnaanam. Ghananam. If it is 6. Okay.
Correct.
Fine.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. One more. The Narasya Abharanam Rupam that you said, no? Narasya, you had also taught that if we want to join the words like Samas, we can write Nar Abharanam instead of Narasya Abharanam.
So that Samasa, there are again specific rules. There should be something called the interrelation between these 2 words should be evident to make Samasa. Okay. Not every place, everywhere we cannot do Samasa. There is certain other rules which we need, which qualifies the words to become Samasa.
Fine, thank you. I'm sorry, this may be out of the course, but it was like, thank you, sir.
Dhanyawada. Okay, next, Raji Bhagini.
Ram Mahoday.
Ram.
That Sarvatraivam. Sandhi, I have a doubt. Sarvatra plus Evam. Is it Yan Sandhi or Vriddhi Sandhi?
It is Vriddhi Sandhi only. Okay, it cannot be any doubt. I'll tell you why. It is the 2 words are Sarvatra and Evam. Okay, and when you combine, what is the final form? Sarvatraivam is the form. Aikara, what is there? This Rakara, the Ra is already existing in the word. This is not because of the combination. The combination is Aikara, and hence this is only Vriddhi Sandhi.
Oh, because the tra came, I had a doubt whether it is Yan Sandhi and I got confused. Thank you very much, Mahoday. Ram.
Always see the place where there is a change. If there is a change, then identify what is the change, and based on the change, you will have to identify the Sandhi. So don't think because tra is there, then it is actually a Yan Sandhi. Because of Rakara is there, it is a Yan Sandhi. No, that is not the case.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. So the same way is with also this, like if I tell a word like Devalayaha, there is only one Akara, so it is easy to say Deva and Alaya, it is a Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. But if I say something else, Yanta, Vanta or something, no, there actually there is a Sandhi, don't worry about it. Say Ramayanam, for example, Ramayanam, Ramayanam, also we can split. I mean, if I program a computer, it will split it that way. But actual split is Rama Ayanam. Basically, that I mean, don't worry about it. So it becomes Ramayana. So there is a Sandhi with Rama and Ayanam. You can think it that way now. So that is the only place where there is a change. So that is the place we will have to split and identify this Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Okay, last question related to Sandhi and these topics. Murli Mahodaya, please ask the question.
Suppose I am audible, clear?
Yeah.
Just going back, just to explain, it's not a question. Vrittatastu, Vrittataha tu. So that Sandhi we have not taken. So one person was asking. So it will be more clear if we say Vrittataha tu.
No, that is right. But
And
since it is,
comes as a sandhi.
1 minute, please. Yeah, vrittatastu, that is right. While explaining, I made the split. Vrittataha tu, okay. But since it is a visarga sandhi, we are not dealing with it. Vrittatastu, and similarly, there are many places where visarga sandhi is there. Okara has come, etc.
No complaints, no complaints. I am saying that just to re-emphasize and make it clear so that
sure, no issues.
The person understands very clearly.
Sure, no issues.
Vrittataha. And one more thing is, like, many people asked why this way, why that way, Arjuna Vacha and all. I would like to, I think you also are clarifying many times that these are all part of stuti. Recitation is more important in our tradition, and also all these sandhis and the way we say things are all more importantly towards that recitation. So somebody asks phalamasti. Can we write phalamasti or phalamasti continuously?
There are two things, Murli Mahodaya. So one is, though it is more related to reciting or speaking, etc. But also writing is also an important aspect, because
yes,
we cannot write phalam like with makara and then next vyanjanam. That is wrong with respect to writing. So while writing, anuswara only. So there are some certain things which are there, because since this is also part of writing, so I probably explained it. Okay.
And I am nothing wrong with what I am saying. Is
I understood. But yeah.
Generally, many things can be taken with a pinch of salt when we think that these are all part of recitation. Like,
right.
Arjuna Vacha, especially if you listen to Vishnu Sahasranamam.
I'm really sorry to stop you. Please, if you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, we'll go to the next set of things.
No problem.
Please, I would, whatever your thoughts are there, you can, if you send a mail, I can see, and then probably whichever is apt, I can explain.
No problem. No problem. I understand the time requirement.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Next, we shall go. Now, I'm just lowering everyone's hands. We shall go to the last set of questions. That is for the last remaining chapters, which is Aramaha and Nadi. If you have any questions related to these two chapters, please raise your hands. We will probably take next 10 minutes and probably close on that. I hope that completes most of the lessons that we have covered after the previous Q&A session. And if there are further questions which are not part of these or anything, maybe at the last we can see that. And I see there are some of students are actually asking some questions in the chat box, etc. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer them. So if there is anything which is unanswered, please write an email. Okay, now let us go again for these set of questions. Okay, Vinay Mahodaya.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
In slide number 15 of Aramaha.
Okay, 1 second. Let me see if that is open. Okay, I shall open that. Okay. Yeah.
So it is about Esha Pushpavatika. So
okay.
There's a flower named Jatihi.
Okay.
So I wanted to know about what kind of flower it is.
Okay. So this is a good question. I will tell in a different way, like how to identify if something which is missed or something like that. So you can actually refer to some of the online dictionaries. Okay. So, or because like not for every word we will be getting a equivalent word in English. Okay, so we can actually see here like any of this, like you can use this, or also there's one more dictionary which I have also introduced, which is basically spokensanskrit.org, which is now called learnsanskrit.cc. Okay, so in these there are some of these, so you can actually give those words and see what it means, and then also some images based on that. So that is also a possibility. So it is, you can think it is also a white flower which is there, similar to Jaji Pushpam or something like that. So that is the other flower that you can think that way. Okay, hope that answers. Hope that answers, Vinay Mahodaya.
Yeah, or is that a typo?
Sorry?
Is that a typing error for Jajihi?
No. Jati Pushpam is also there. Jati is also there. Jaji is also there. There are different slight varieties of it.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
Sure. Chandrarekha Bhagini, you can ask a question.
Sir, I want to know if I want to use an adjective in this answer. Jantavah kena rogenah bhavanti. I want to use the word kalushi kritasya malin jalasya panena rogenah bhavanti. So how do I use kalushi kritam or kalushi kritasya malina jalasya panena is right?
Yeah, it is right. You are splitting basically your, yes, that is right. Kalushi kritasya, then malina jalasya. So Kalushi Kritasya already means that Malina Jalam, why will the water become polluted? Because of Kalushi Karanam.
And if I'm using Malin Jalam, then I will use Kalushi Kritam.
Yes. So that's what. But it depends on what is the final answer that you want to give.
My final answer was Jantavah Kalushi Kritasya Malina Jalasya Panena Rogenah Bhavanti.
That is right. That is correct.
And there was a similar question in that Pugi Fal also. There also I had sent you an email because I was using a lengthy answer. So kindly check my email.
No, I saw that. So today we have we have seen that. So because you have used Pugi Phalan Avalambya or something you have written, but
Latayam also. I used the word Latayam also. Marichika, that was an answer on Marichika. Latayam of something, I made it a big answer.
Sure, I shall check and reply back on that. Okay.
But this is correct what I'm saying, na? Kalushi Kritasya.
That is right. So whenever, note this is a general way. Wherever there is Visheshanam that is being used, we'll have to see the corresponding noun form, and in whichever vibhakti, whichever number the noun form is, the Visheshana also will be the same. Like Kalushi Kritasya Jalasya, Kalushi Kritam Jalam, etc. So according to Jalam or Jalasya, what word you use, the adjectives also will be the same vibhakti. If you maintain that, that should be fine.
Okay, clarified, sir. Dhanyavada. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Srinivasan Mahodaya.
Yeah, this is regarding Ganga, Nadi Ganga.
Right.
Where Udgama Sthanam Gangotri. This sentence is Gangayaha Udgama Sthanam Gangotri.
Right.
In that, no, because when we say Gangayaha is coming the sixth vibhakti.
That's right.
But when we say place, it should not be used Gangayam.
No, what is being said, that is more important here. Okay. So for example, in this sentence, okay, let me go to that slide. Ganga Yaha Udgamasthanam. Udgamasthanam is the place. Udgamasthanam of what? Ganga's Udgamasthana. Ganga's place of origin is Gangotri.
Okay.
So that is why Udgamasthanam is in Prathama Bhakti. Udgamasthanam Gangotri Kasya of what? Of Ganga. So there is a relation. Udgamasthanam Gangayaha Udgamasthanam. So that is why it is.
Okay. So it should be only Ganga, of Ganga only it will be taken.
Yes, correct. Of Ganga. Udgamasthana. The origin of Ganga is Gangotri.
Okay. So the second question is on the Arama, this thing.
Right.
Arama, this thing. There, we are saying apagasya apakebhyah tadakebhyah raso sarobhyah.
Right.
Now saraha is the word you have given as saraha.
Right.
In saraha is the word. How sarobhyah can come there?
No, it is.
Only sara.
We haven't learned that shabda actually. So saraha is basically, I think, which slide I'm not able to recollect where it is. It is basically saras shabda, sakarantaha napumsakalinga shabda. So for that, the Chaturthi Vibhakti or the Panchami Vibhakti will be sarobhyah. Okay. So that is how the word form is. But we haven't learned, so it is difficult for you to.
No, I was not. So I was a little confused. How saraha can be put in a sarobhyah?
Okay.
So it is not. The word is saras. You say.
Yeah, saras, but saraha is the first form. Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam is saraha. Saraha, sarasi, saramsi. That is how the forms are.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is not like Ramaha, Saraha, like seeing that if you see Ramebhyaha, Sarebhyaha, something like that, it should be no, it is not. Since it is a different Shabda, the forms are different.
Okay. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Okay, next we should make it quick. Kalyan Mahodaya. Next Aditi, next Sundar, and Jayashree. Yeah.
So my question is related to the Nadi Shloka.
Right.
While identifying the various vibhaktis, particularly Papanam, it is the Sashti vibhakti, and Sarva Jantuhi is Tritiya vibhakti.
Right.
So how Sarva Jantuhi Tritiya vibhakti? Because
okay, I will explain it.
And Papanam, because I don't find the relation of.
I will explain it. Okay? I will explain it. This is based on multiple grammar rules here. I'll try to make it simple and quickly explain it. So this sentence, basically, if you see, Sarva Jantubhihi Pujyate. So it is in passive voice. Okay, that is the first thing. Sarva Jantavaha, all living organisms will worship. If that was the case, Sarva Jantavaha Pujayanti would be the answer.
Oh, I was expecting that actually. Yeah.
Okay. So now, since it is passive voice, these rivers, the river will be worshipped by all beings, all living beings. That is why this is Pujyate and this is in Tritiya Vibhakti.
Oh, we have not learned this. That's why it was difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is not part of the syllabus, so I did not explain more in that point because it could also cause some confusion. So that is the reason why I did not explain further there. That is
and
one.
Sir, how do you explain Papanam in sixth?
Coming to that. So Haranam is basically again a Kridanta, similar to Gamanam. Gamanam means going. Okay. So Haranam means taking away. So in such cases, whenever this kind of words are used, the corresponding verb, corresponding noun will be in Shashti Vibhakti. Krishnasya Gamanam. Gamanam of Krishna. Of Krishna is there. So taking away of the sins. So that is why Papanam is in Shashti Vibhakti.
Oh.
Haranaya means taking away of sins. So that is how it is basically.
So, sir, in another sentence, Janaha Papa Parihartha.
That is
Papa Parihartham. Can we say Papa Pariharthaya?
See, Artham is already having that Chaturthi Vibhakti in it. It's already there inside it. Artham, Tadartham means for that purpose. So Arthaya will not make any sense. Tadartham is automatically in Chaturthi Vibhakti.
Or somewhat like Kimartham, which.
Yes. Kimartham is why. That is again answer we are expecting is in Chaturthi Vibhakti. So instead of Papa Pariharartham, you can also use Papa Pariharaya. That is fine. But whenever if you are using Artha, it will become Artham only. Papa Pariharartham.
Oh, okay.
So there are many. Okay, see,
Thank you.
What we have learned, what we have covered is just this much. Okay, but what is there is so much more. So I think only through time you will be able to understand these small or subtle points or why it is, etc.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you very much.
Dhanyavadaha. Okay. Next, Aditi.
Sir, can you tell me the meaning of Jantavaha?
Jantavaha is Bahuvachanam of Jantu. Jantuhu is Ukarantha Pullinga Shabdaha, similar to Guruhu, Guru, Guravaha. Jantuhu, Jantu, Jantavaha. Jantuhu means any living being.
And for Jalam, you had given Toyam Apam, Apa. Can we write Salilam also?
Salilam is also fine. Salilam you can use, Payaha you can use. There are many words for Jalam, basically.
Okay. And one more. Can you tell me the meaning of Brahmaraha?
Brahmaraha is basically a bee. Okay. Brahmaraha is many bees. Bahuvachanam of bee.
And the flower name Mandara Parijata Dina.
That's what. Mandara is again one of the tree. Mandara is a tree which grows in the garden of Indra, basically. Mandara. So this you would have heard in many other shlokas, etc. Also, Mandara Bahu Pushpa Supujitaya, etc. So Mandara is basically a special flour. That's all you can know, but I don't know the exact translation in English. Try out in some of the dictionaries. You should be able to get it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Dhanyavada.
Sure. Okay. Next, Sundar. Sundar Mahoday, you can ask your question. And next will be Jayashree Bhagini.
Can you hear me, sir? No.
Yes, yes.
Namo Nama. This is on Aramaha.
Right.
Yatra Jala Saukaryam Asti.
Right.
In the exam, can we just use any other word? Like if you don't remember.
If you can speak near the mic, it will be helpful. Mahoday, I'm unable to hear you now. If you speak near the mic, it will be helpful.
Instead of saying Yatra Jala Saukaryam Asti.
Right.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Please continue.
Can we write Jala Prabhava Kshetre, Jala Prabhava Pradeshe?
Jala Prabhava means what? Prabhava means effect or something like that. Okay. So Jala Saukaryam, Saukaryam means basically it is easy to obtain. So Sukaram, basically it's based on Sukara, the word Saukarya has come. So which is available, which is easy to get, etc. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
Okay, and also in the opening sentence, we already said Grameshu, they live in
right villages.
Then we say in the second sentence, Kshetreshu.
Right. Kshetreshu is basically in the field. I did not hear it again correctly. So can you please speak near the mic? Otherwise, it will be difficult to understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what my question was. Kshetreshu in the field, is it?
Yeah. Kshetram means field.
And also, sir, you said Pahi or Patu. The Dhatu was Pa.
Right.
Pibati is also Dhatu Pa, is it?
Yeah, that is Pa, Pane, that is there. So for Pati, I will check that. Okay, I can probably quickly check that and give you what it is. Pa is for Pib also it is there, Pibati, but Pa will get changed to Pib basically for this.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Dhanyawada, sir. And also, sorry, one more last one. Is there a difference between Dadatu and Dadhatu with the Alpa Prana, Maha Prana?
Yes. These two are different dhatus. Dadati is for danam, to give. Dadhati is to wear or to have, etc. Like that, to hold, etc.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Jayashree Bhagini, you can ask a question. Next, Sheila Bhagini and Amita Bhagini. Yeah.
So my question is in this lesson, Aramaha.
Right.
This Aharnisham, is it a compound word or?
Yes. It is a compound word.
It's a compound word. And one more question is the exercises in Aramaha.
Right.
So we have this question, Narikela Vriksha Kidrisham Jalam Yachanti. So if an answer is given like Amrita Kalpam Phalam Phalani Na Prachanti, is it a wrong or should we write only Yachanti? See, I want to know how you write the answer.
See, we discussed the exercise in the morning in the first place. So this is Amrita Kalpam Jalam Yachanti is the right answer. So Kidrisham Jalam Yachanti is the question. So what kind of water do they give? They give Amrita Kalpam Jalam. That's the answer, straightforward answer. So we don't have to add Madhuram Phalam, etc. Those are not needed. Amrita Kalpam.
We can keep it. Okay, we can keep it as simple as this.
Yes. Whatever is the question asked, just answer that. That's it. That is sufficient.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Dhanyawada. Okay. Next, Sheila Bhagini.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
Arama lesson.
Right.
The sixth one. Labhyante, it is put. Labdatu.
Right.
Labante it should be or labhyante. Why that ya?
That is again, it is in a passive voice. So that is why it is labhyante is used.
Okay.
Okay. It is in passive voice. So it will be, these will be obtained by them. That is why it is labhyante is there. Okay, but actual form is labhate, labhete, labhante. That is
labhante. That's what I. Okay.
Yes. So,
but vidyante is
Vidyate, 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 vidyante. So that is it is like that only. The dhatu is
Vartamana kala.
yes, yes.
That like
It's active voice only.
Okay.
Sure.
Dhanyawad Mahodaya. This one.
Dhanyawad.
Okay.
Okay. Amita Bhargava. Amita Bhargava, you can unmute and ask. Okay, I should go to next student. Rama Bhagini.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
My query was Dhanya Adini,
right.
Jivana Upyogini Dhanya Adini.
Right.
The meaning of Adini.
Adini means this and the next. For whatever the first word you say Ramadi. If that means you say keeping Rama as the first, remaining everyone. Like that, Dhanya Dini, Dhanya and others. That's what it means. Dhanya Dini, Jivanopayogini. So not just grains and vegetables, fruits, etc. Like that. Adi is you can think it as etc.
And this Vidyante means gets. Vidyante.
What is the sentence?
No, I've just taken it.
Okay, Vidyante. So basically, Vidyate, Vidyate, Vidyantes. Vidyate means is there, or any of these similar to that we can use.
And Sakrit.
Sakrit means once, only once, one time.
Dhanyawada.
Dhanyawada. Okay, next Rama Bhagini. Rama, Pragya, Sainis, and then Charu.
Namaste, Mahaday.
Namaste.
In Aramaha lesson,
Right.
this Rohanti and
Ropayanti
are the same meaning, sir?
Yeah, it's the same meaning.
Okay. And in the Nadi lesson, I want to know this Tirtha Miti is the, I think there is no Sandhi there. Is correct,
That is
sir?
right. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. There's no
Okay.
Sandhi.
Okay. Pratyaham is the end Sandhi. It's correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Sure.
you.
Dhanyawada. Okay. Next, Pragya Bhatt.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Mahodaya, I have the doubt about Kriya Pada. What is the difference in Yachati and Prayachati?
Okay, so as said earlier also, wherever we add prefix, it emphasizes the meaning or adds more weightage to the meaning, etc. Yachati and Prayachati, it's same thing. Prakrishtena Yachati, you can think like that means it gives more. Okay, Yachati gives, Prayachati gives more. That's what you can think. Okay, hope that is answered. Sure. Any
Mahodaya, I need the Kannada meanings of Prarthana, Mahodaya.
Okay, I shall check. Yeah, I shall check and provide it.
Kannada, and I have the older version of the book and not.
But no, older version is different and this new version is different. So you will have.
I wanted at least the pick, Mahodaya.
Sure. Please write an email to it. I'll see. I think you had written. Yeah. So please just reply in the same mail and send it across. I shall check and share it with you.
Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad. Okay. Next, Sainis.
Namaste, Mahodaya. I have a question about the fifth question in this lesson. Katham is indeclinable. What about Kim?
Kim is basically kaha kauke, etc. forms are there. So that is a namapadam.
So it cannot be indeclinable. Somebody is asking Kim, is it indeclinable or not?
No, it is not. It is namapadam. Kim is a namapadam.
Namapadam. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Charu, you can ask your question. Charu, you can ask your question.
Ram Mahodaya.
Ram.
In this Subhashitani lesson, is it actually
I couldn't hear your voice correctly. There was a fading effect, so I couldn't hear your voice.
Mahoday, is Subhashitani lesson and their meanings included in the assessment this time?
Subhashitani lesson would be included. Meanings also, yes, you learn the meanings. So yeah, it will be part in one or the other questions. Some way it will be used actually. So I don't know exactly like where we.
So from the starting of the book till the lesson Aramaha, it will be there for this time.
No. The first 4 is not there anyway. So whatever was done after the first intermediate assessment, all that portion is what will be there. So like whatever doubt clarification we are doing today, this portion is what will be there.
Okay, Mahodaya.
Dhanyawada.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dhanyawada.
I hope this session was useful, and I'm happy that at least some of you were able to make it for this Q&A session. Hope I've been able to answer most of your questions related to any these lessons what we spoke. Okay, I will see. I think I'm still seeing a few students raised. Now this will be kind of a general open discussion. If there is any specific question or any other doubt or something, if you have, I will just take. Maybe I'll give chance to maybe 2 or 3 students alone, and then we'll conclude today's class. It's already more than time. Okay. So first is yeah, Julia Walker. You can ask your question. Make it please make it precise and ask the question. Yeah.
Thank you. There is one old question about when tell ete ke ete harinaha, but
right.
Harinaha is adjective, is not noun, and then sometimes adjective is used like namapada, because why don't ask about noun?
No. Adjective. So ete harinaha. Harinaha, I think it should be right, or what? Like Harinaha is basically a deer. So Harinaha, ete Harinaha, that would be the answer there. So Harinaha is a namapadam only there in that case.
But it's adjective because Harinani, Trinani.
Haritani, that is. Haritam is green.
Yes. But it's not asking in Harinaha is not green.
No, Harinaha is not green. It is deer, animal, deer, mrigaha.
Is sorry, I don't listen.
It is a deer. It's a animal.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Dhanyawadaha. Annapurna Bhagini, you can ask your question, or
Ram Mahodaya. I didn't write the intermediate first assessment.
Okay.
Is it mixed with the final exam?
Mixed with the final exam. Okay. If I understand you are asking with respect to the marks, whether that will be considered for final course and exam or something. So basically there would be a small portion of the weightage that will be considered from the intermediate assessment, but it would not really affect your final scores. That's what I can say.
Because inevitable circumstances, yeah, sure. I wrote an email to you also.
Oh, one important thing. So there are 2 things. Okay, one is the Swara Saraswati Sabha certificate that you will be writing an exam for. For that, definitely this intermediate assessment will not have any say. So that is independent of whatever is being done with respect to Vyoma or this course. So we will, at the end of this course, we will have one course and evaluation. Okay, for that final, for the certificate that you will get for based on this course, for that this intermediate assessment marks may be included, but in a very small percentage. So that's why it shouldn't matter much.
I prepared well, but I couldn't write, sir. That's why I feel. I feel like I'm feeling that.
Don't worry.
Thank you, Dhanyawada, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Shanta Bhagini, and after this I'll probably take one more and then I will conclude.
Hariom.
Hariom.
In Shantosha, there is one word Dirgha Sutrada. What does it mean?
Which one? In which one?
Shadoshaha Dirghasutrada.
Dirghasutrada means procrastination. Dirghasutrada, procrastination. That is, I shall do this tomorrow. I shall do this tomorrow. That kind of attitude. So prolonging the task that has to be completed. That is Dirghasutrada.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha. Okay. Last question, Rajaraman Mohodaya. Sorry, I see a few more students who have raised their hands, but it is already time, so I'll not be able to.
Namaste. Are you able to hear, sir? Namaste.
Yes.
Sir, to one thing I wanted may not be connected to this course as such. Whenever we do our Upanayanam changing every year, then we do this Veda Arambham karke. There we start with Maheshwara Sutrani, no?
That's right.
But here, why you don't start from there?
So, okay. Quick answer to it is, so first thing for a kid, okay, for anyone who is learning the first basics, so it is the Matrika Patha that is taught. That is A, E, etc. In what we have learned, the order in which we have learned. This Maheshwara Sutrani, of course, this is the starting of the Varnamala of Sanskritam, etc., whatever it is. But directly if you teach that order, there we don't have Dirgha Aksharas and etc. Various other things are not there, which is there in the Varnamala. And this specifically is used for a lot of grammar rules that are there. Even for Sandhi also, the names of the Sandhi, Yen Sandhi, if you remember, I said Yen means basically Yara, Lava. This is coming from Maheshwara Sutrani. So we will have to give a proper introduction to why this Maheshwara Sutrani are there and learn it in that order. And because of that reason, so I hadn't introduced this basically. Okay. So we shall learn that probably in the upcoming levels, etc.
Okay. Second thing, since the Sanskrit is more oriented toward pronunciation,
right.
The Sandhi, Samas and all can be, even if we don't know what Samasa or Sandhi it is, when we pronounce it, automatically the words and letters will join, isn't it?
Samasa is a different concept. So there, I mean, it's not a joining of letters or anything.
Words.
Okay? But yeah, words. But that again, there are many rules in it. But main thing is why these are there. I'll just give it in a very generic summary kind of a thing. Grammar in any other language, if you see, grammar is just part of the language. It is try to learn and try to understand, etc. But in Sanskritam, Vyakaranam is so important because it has to protect already existing words and its usages. So here, in any other language, if you go, maybe in English or Kannada or any other language, I saw it today morning in one news article or somewhere, there is a new word added to the Oxford Dictionary, for example. So in any other language you go, there are new words that get added to the dictionaries. But in Sanskritam, the contrary, we need to protect already existing words. It itself is very huge, and we cannot add any new word because already all the words are existing. So that is why we'll have to learn these grammar rules so that we will not make any wrong usage of the words, etc. So in general, Vyakaranam or grammar is basically a guiding line in which we'll have to use the language in a systematic way. So for that matter, Sandhi, even if you don't know the rules, if you know this word is split in this way, you may not be able to say this is Yen Sandhi, this is Savarna Sandhi, etc. That is still fine. But you need to split the words correctly so that it makes the correct meaning out of it. So that is one aspect with respect to usage or learning the language. But with respect to the exam and other things, these are the concepts that we need to learn. Why this happens in this way. So probably that answers your question.
Thank you, sir. Dhanyavada. Dhanyavada.
Sure. Dhanyavada.
You are teaching. Sir, before I want to thank you, your teaching style is so good, and you are explaining and breaking and putting that 1.3 and all that is very nice. I wanted to thank you and all the Yoma team. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Dhanyavada. Dhanyavada. Definitely, it is a lot of things which I have learned from my gurus and their ways of teaching, etc. You can see that blend of what I have learned so far. I'm trying to put whatever is the best possible from my side and trying to teach. And I'm really happy that it is helping you all to understand and learn further. So that is the greatest motivation for me also. That is whatever I'm telling, you're taking it patiently and listening to it and learning and making the best use of it. Dhanyawadaha for that.
Dhanyawada, sir. Dhanyawada.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Kshamedam. So I will have to end the session today at this point. So please, if there are any questions that are unanswered, etc., please feel free to write an email. Though of late I was a bit busy, so I couldn't answer the emails, etc. So, but please don't get discouraged because of it. So please write an email. I shall definitely look into it and then answer. And also prepare for the intermediate assessment too, which is coming up next week. I shall provide more details on Wednesday. And let us proceed. So probably we should be able to complete our syllabus also by next week, the next 2 classes. And then let us discuss about the few of the previous year question papers, etc. And then I want all of you to take up this Prathama exam. Okay, I shall speak more on Wednesday. So Sarvebhyaha Ram Ram Ram. Dhanyawadaha. So of course, if there is any question or anything that you have left, so please write an email to raghu.pyoma@gmail.com. Namo Namaha. Ram Ram Ram.